an entrepreneur must have is optimist. Nobody is going to believe in you, but you must be optimist. You must have that faith in yourself that you're going in the right direction you're building. So that is very important. You can just sit in one room and build a strategy for your startup for 2 years, but if you don't execute anything, it means nothing. You cannot cut corners. कि हाँ चलता है वाला attitude नहीं चलता है. There must be a process to everything. Being present always in whatever you are doing, you can find times to do different things with full passion, with full commitment. Don't be afraid to fail. No business is built his or her eyes closed. Even if you move 0.1% every day, you are still compounding it. So just don't sit, move. Having an idea is good, but if you don't have anything to show, exactly, there's no point. And start talking to users, because entrepreneurship comes with a lot of lows and a few highs. You balance each other. 1 plus 1 is 11. I heard this one amazing interview of Amitabh Bachchan. अगर मन का हुआ तो अच्छा, अगर मन का नहीं हुआ तो और भी अच्छा, क्योंकि there is something bigger waiting for you.
This is one of the most powerful episodes of Let's Talk Clarity podcast. If you want to become an entrepreneur, this is a must-watch episode with Pritika Mehta, a serial entrepreneur, the founder of Socksoho and Butternut AI, a tool which gives you a website in 20 seconds. Yes, 20 seconds. This episode is a no-fluff, real-world guide for entrepreneurs. Pritika speaks openly about handling rejections, bouncing back from setbacks, and building the mental strength required to stay in the game. We dive deep into what truly matters: decision making, resilience, adaptability, and the core traits that separates dreamers from builders. If you are an entrepreneur, founder, or someone thinking of starting up, this conversation will give you clarity, confidence, and practical direction. Let's dive in. Let's start from entrepreneurship. And what are the top 3 traits of an entrepreneur that he or she must have?
I think the number one trait an entrepreneur must have is he or she must be an optimist. Optimism is so important, because when you are chasing entrepreneurship, you are creating. So instead of just sitting in one corner and building stuff, build something, take it to your users, talk to them, and see if they really need that solution that you're building. They will guide you in the right direction. So that's the second one. And the third one would be, let's say, which is the most important. Yeah. So optimism, and then talking, communication, and then yes, building. So, the world can build the strategy, but the universe rewards somebody who actually executes it. So that is very important. You can just sit in one room and build a strategy for your startup for 2 years, but if you don't execute anything, it means nothing. Yes, you must be action oriented. So that is very important. So you must be an optimist. You must know where your users are, and you must talk to them. And third would be definitely, that you must be an action oriented person.
Building and doing the actions. And Pritika, means I have seen you, and you are building lot many startups, and lot many means many businesses you have did. First Socksoho, I'm still wearing that Socksoho shoes, and right from the last 4-5 years, I'm wearing the same Socksoho shoes, socks. And then now Butternut AI, and before that Mind Battery, so many things. So how you are managing this your energy in each and every business, and what are you chasing, or what is driving you in this all the businesses?
Okay, so I मैं बहुत छोटी थी when I started, looking around different business owners, and I was very inspired to see वो ऐसा क्या create करते हैं जो कि you sit at one place, you create something जो कि दुनिया use करती है. So that was my dream, to create something that could go into millions of homes.
Millions of homes.
Millions of homes. That million. Yeah, if you create something that the world needs and they can pay you for, I think that for me is what I'm chasing. It started with the journey with me doing my undergrad in Chandigarh, and then I worked with the services company, and I started reading this biography of Steve Jobs,
Okay.
where I was
Walter
just
rejection.
yes,
Yes.
and I was so fascinated with building a product, and I'm like, okay, I want to work with in a company that builds product. And then I went to this next company where I'm talking about 2014, where we started doing AI back then, and it was a product company. I was very fascinated, just like every Indian, you do your BTech and then you pursue your master. So I did take MBA exams, but then I ultimately decided not to go for it because my passion lied in building things. That's how I went after doing MS from New York.
New York. Okay.
Yes, in artificial intelligence, because that's where I found my passion.
10 years back.
10 years back.
Okay.
I always loved mathematics and
Okay.
coding. So I think artificial intelligence was the combination of both the things. Yes, so
But
that's.
let me ask you one question. Means AI right now in 2024, I started using ChatGPT and listen more about AI and Copilot things. 10 years back, you did masters in AI. So how you foresighted and how you choose AI at that point of time
So
as a
for
career choice? That will be very interesting for our audience.
So for me, artificial intelligence, the way we see AI right now is we are using these tools. But back then, it was about building models. It was very granular. It was very different way of
Okay.
implementing. So for me, I think because I did my undergrad in computer science, so I was into the product company, and I think what I saw was I started learning about machine learning. Machine learning is very heavy on calculus and mathematics, and I loved maths.
Maths. Okay.
Yes, so high level calculus. And I think that's where I found my passion, something at the intersection of coding and mathematics. That's what led me to watching Andrew Ng's YouTube, these tutorials at night and learning machine learning.
Wow.
So even before I started my MS, I had done half of the course of machine learning already. So that's how I found my passion.
Okay, and that's how means you got into AI, and then and from there on you are working something or other on AI only.
Mm-hmm.
So when you build means how the first idea of your business came means the it will be Socksoho, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So how that idea came?
So with Socksoho, we started with building chatbots to do e-commerce over
Okay.
WhatsApp. So वहाँ से we also started building our D2C brand, and so इसके पीछे story बहुत interesting है कि me being a software engineer, my co-founder being a software engineer, how we started building socks. So it was like we always, as I said, build something people want. So we were looking at different opportunities, and we always wanted to build product. So we were and उस time Jio release हुआ था, the 3G, the
Okay,
3G
okay.
revolution happened,
Revolution.
and we saw हमारे parents, everybody, they started shopping online. And whereas I thought my parents, they are going to be the last people to actually learn technology, but they were the first ones. And D2C, all this consumerism was on a rise. And we read this report where they said that men fashion is the fastest growing
Okay.
segment. And we're
Okay.
like, okay, we understand that because pehle for men, either unki mama shop karte the ya wife. But now, because of online shopping, men, they have started shopping for themselves. तो फिर हमने different segments देखे, how we can win this men fashion segment. So we made a list of 50 different products, from caps to hats and to t-shirts, nice lowers and everything. And we had different weights of different things. So we saw socks came on the top.
Okay.
There was no sizing issue, and there was no other brand in it. And just the way women wear jewelry, men wear socks, and they love to flaunt it as well. And there was no other brand in this segment, so we launched it as an experiment, and it worked.
Okay.
It
Wow.
worked, yeah. And we have
Yeah.
been, yeah, growing since then.
Wow. And I enjoy wearing my socks, socks and flaunt it on airports. And people used to see my socks. What are they? They are sometimes red, some stripes, and I really enjoy those socks. And so how you started? That is, you were in AI, and then you started a product company. That is so a product of a day-to-day use thing. And then from there you transform your career into AI, Butternut AI. So how that jump happened?
So for me, agar Socksoho on the face, it looks like it's a pure D2C consumer
D2C.
brand.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
but on the back end, whom to target, whom to market, all those decisions and customer interactions, we were using a lot of bots and everything to do that.
Okay.
So usme bhi on the back end, we built a lot of our own algorithms to do those things. But then, okay, the transition from Socksoho to Butternut happened when ChatGPT came. Being into AI, always interested, learning new things. Even before ChatGPT came, there was this very popular paper on transformers. Just pe ChatGPT bana hai.
Okay.
That really changed everything for everyone in AI. And people who were into tech, they really understood that the world, 5 years down the line, is going to be completely different because of AI.
Because of AI.
जैसे
Okay.
आपने मुझे भी बताया आप कितने AI tools in your day to day life you use
Yeah.
and you can't go back
No.
now from them. So I started looking for different problems I could solve with AI because my passion was always there, my interest was always there. So I was looking at different problems I could solve using AI, and Butternut was more of an experiment that
Okay.
happened. It was like, okay, being, the bigger vision was सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री इतनी बड़ी है, क्या हम उसको ऑटोमेट कर सकते हैं कि अगर आज आपने सोचा कि मैंने अपने बिजनेस के लिए ऐप बनानी है, आप चेस करोगे किसी फ्रीलांसर को या डिजाइन एजेंसी को एंड दे विल चार्ज यू अ बॉम्ब.
Yes.
And and if you have to do it yourself, it's again you have to learn a lot.
Lot.
तो
Yes.
दैट वाज द विजन, क्या हम उसको ऑटोमेट कर सकते हैं एंड कैन यू जस्ट टॉक इन सिंपल इंग्लिश एंड टेल द सॉफ्टवेयर व्हाट टू बिल्ड. बट फॉर अस वी आर लाइक व्हाट इज द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट, what should be the starting point, and websites was the starting point for us, because any business that is online or offline needs a business, needs a website. And that's how we started with this. We launched it on Product Hunt and it went viral.
It went viral. Yeah.
So I think that was the turning point where I put up a tweet saying, hey, I built this new tool, why don't you check it out?
Check it out.
And I think it was 8:30 p.m. at night. I slept. Tomorrow next day morning I woke up and the tweet went viral, and that was the foundation of Butternut AI.
Butternut AI. Wow. And how you got the name?
That's another interesting story. Well, everybody asks me why
You
Butternut
always
AI.
come with the very different and difficult names or
Uh-huh.
critical names.
Uh-huh.
Socks Bakery, Mind Batteries, Butternut.
Uh-huh.
So, what is the story of
हाँ,
Butternut?
तो इसकी स्टोरी ये है कि जब बटरनट एआई, तो वी हैड while we were choosing names, we had different criterias. First of all, तो हमें था कि recall value बहुत ज़्यादा हो, like
People should remember.
people should remember.
Yeah.
And there is a 101 highway, in Bay Area, where I live now. तो वहाँ पे हमेशा टेक के बिलबोर्ड्स होते हैं.
Okay.
Some new product launching or some big tech, Figma or all these companies. So we were thinking, अगर जब हमारा वहाँ पे बटन billboard जाएगा and somebody sees it, they should go back home and remember it.
Okay.
That was our first
Key
criteria.
idea. Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, butternut, it's a squash. It's from a family of pumpkins. So, yeah, I kind of liked it. So when I saw this name, I'm like, okay, this kind of, I like it. And third, the domain name was also available.
Available.
So all these three things combined, and that's how butternut came
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
So the tagline is you can build your website in 20 seconds.
Yes.
And let me share here that from the last 5 years, I'm building my website. And it is still in work in progress from the last 5 years.
Uh-huh.
And you're telling you will make my website in 20 seconds.
In 20 seconds.
So how you came up with this tagline?
God. So ये tagline हमने अपना system ही ऐसे बनाया है where you can create something easily.
Okay.
So what happens is currently अगर आप अभी market में देखो, it is like drag and drop, Wix or other things. We were like, can you just tell the software what to do or what your business is about, and can it create the website for you? तो tagline वही है जो हम करते हैं. कि आपकी वेबसाइट रेडी टू गो लाइव 20 सेकंड में बना के दे देते हैं, एंड यू कैन जस्ट पब्लिश इट, यू कैन कस्टमाइज इट. तो आप सिर्फ हमें अपना बिजनेस नेम बताइए, आपका बिजनेस क्या करता है, कौन सी लैंग्वेज.
idea. Yeah,
एग्जैक्टली. and our AI. So what we have done is हमने अपना AI train किया है on millions of websites.
Okay.
So when you put in your business category, our AI already understands what are the different sections your website would need, what are the different pages you would need, what is the the color theme that must go there, what is the language, what are the images, everything. It just presents you
Boom.
boom in 20 seconds, and then definitely you can customize anything as per your needs.
Yes.
But all these things you can do it in 20
20
seconds. So
seconds.
that's the tagline.
Yes, I have done I think 2 3 times I have used your Butternut
हाँ
AI
हाँ
and
हाँ
it gives in 20 seconds.
हाँ
Yeah.
हाँ यस तो जो हम बोलते हैं वही हम करते
करते
हैं
हैं. So here let's take it further, and you have just touched upon that when you see the billboards and you were in US. So how your life changed when you were in India, Chandigarh, and then first time you went to US, and how your life changed and your exposure, and means if someone new, a graduate want to do masters, and how that jump has changed you as a person, as your exposure, as your wide and going billion global, like that. So how that has means changed you as a person.
Hmm. So I think my masters really gave me the exposure of the entire world. It really made me understand how the world operates because I was born, brought up in Chandigarh, and even in college, I was experimenting with different ideas with my friends, but they were very localized. They were like, "Oh, what can we, let's start something in Chandigarh and make it grow," and then, but once I went to the US and where the ecosystem and everything, then you don't really think for the city. You think, how can I build a product that the world can use?
World can use.
The
Okay.
world can use. I think the ambition just goes 1000x.
1000x. Wow.
Exactly. So
Wow.
from this, Chandigarh, sweet, lovely town, to America, your ambition, boom, in 1 year, it is like, wow, what can I build that the world will use? So ambition change hua.
Okay.
Then you interact with a lot of experts in your areas, people who are innovating day to day, where innovation is rewarded. So I think that was another
Okay.
thing
Innovation.
that, yes. And to always pursue excellence is what I really learned in the US.
Okay.
You cannot be like, you cannot cut corners कि हाँ चलता है वाला
चलता
attitude
है.
नहीं चलता है.
Yes, yes.
There must be a process to everything. That is how you automate everything. So these three things I really learned in the US that has really helped me shape what I am today, and building things.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. And so people should try to have that exposure, go out, maybe on
Yes.
travel, and then study also if they want to, or if they can afford it, and if they want to go for it. But here, let me share that you were there in the US for your masters and did some job, and then you came back to India. So, so that was a very major career shift, leaving your cushy, comfortable job and then coming back to again Chandigarh. So, what prompted you to come back to India?
I think, as I mentioned, it was always in my heart to build something, build a product, a useful product that could that the world could use. So while I started my job, the money was good, everything was good, and I enjoyed living in Boston. I was working for TripAdvisor at that point of
TripAdvisor.
time.
Okay.
Yes, so it was amazing. But in my heart, it was like, no, I am not this. In my heart, I wanted to do a lot more things than my current life, and even I think in my heart I always knew I would do this job for 2 3 years, and then start something of my own. But then when I started doing my job, I kind of thought like, whenever I'll make the jump, I'll always have to start from zero.
Zero.
So, experience of 1 year versus 3 years is not going to make any difference. So, how about I take that leap of faith right now when I have the energy, I have the motivation, and try it? What is the worst that could happen? Let me try it for some time and I can come back to a job if nothing works. But if it works, I'll be enjoying my life more, I'll be pursuing my passions and my dreams. So I think it was just a leap of faith that I took at
Okay.
that point of time.
Was it difficult at that point of time?
I think it was difficult when I came back to India. I did not even tell my parents before leaving my job.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, next week actually I'm coming back to India. And they were shocked, hell shocked.
Okay.
And when I came back to India, 6 mahine ke liye, my parents were like, okay, what happened and why suddenly go for a business, this and that. And yes, um, it was not tough for me internally because
Okay.
yeah, it was just tough externally, just answering everyone's questions.
Yeah,
So
again and again, same answers.
same answer. So
So,
yeah, I just told my
yeah,
parents,
I'm
see.
doing that answers from last 6 months.
So you understand my feelings. Yes. So it was, but I think I'm very grateful to have amazing parents who have always supported me and
Okay.
kind of supported my decision. So I told them, see, you know this is my thought process, that let me give it a shot, because this is what I always wanted to do. If nothing works out, give me 2 years. If nothing works out, maybe I'll go back. So, and they were okay with it. They're like, okay, fine, you're young, take your time. And things happened.
Things
Things
happen. Yeah,
happened,
yeah.
yes. And I'm so happy I took that
Wow.
decision. Yeah, my entire class in the US could not understand. A lot of my friends who always said, oh, we will come back, after our MS we'll come back to India, they have never come
Never.
back. And when I told them I am going back to India, they were like, what? So it was a major shift. Yeah.
Wow, wow. And it is good that your parents supported and
Hmm.
the parenthood and everything. The support is very important
Hmm.
in taking that career transformation journey. So after coming to India, you started doing lot many things, TEDx, and you were doing, I think, mind batteries and lot many things you were doing at that point of time. So how you are managing everything, because there are a lot on the plate, TEDx
Hmm.
also, and then your own business, and then building team. And it is not that you were doing business; you were doing business for the first time,
Hmm. Hmm.
hardcore business, and after leaving that job. So
Hmm.
how you are managing yourself, or time managing, or productivity?
So
Because
after
I saw you in TEDx, you were 100% there, and
hmm,
you're always available, and we had so many meetings.
uh,
Yeah, so how you are managing those
hmm.
timelines?
So I think with TED, what I did was more because I was passionate about it, the
Okay.
power of ideas, and I always thought, a city like Chandigarh needs it.
Okay.
So that was more on the passion end. On the business end, I would say, what I learned in all these years is, if you build good processes in your system, be it doing TED or be it doing uh, mind batteries or anything else, if you have good systems in place, you can find times to do different things with full passion, with full
Okay.
commitment. So that's what I've learned. So
Okay.
yeah, being present always in whatever you are doing. If I'm doing this podcast, I'm not thinking about, oh, what's happening in office, what's the product going,
Hmm.
this and that. I'm here 100%. So
So how you learn this?
by doing, failing again and
Failing again.
again. Yes, everybody fails, don't be afraid to fail. By failing again, and by observing people who are successful,
Okay.
by interacting with them, by learning from them. So I think yeah, you're not born with these things, you'll
Yes.
just observe things and you learn.
Okay.
And
By doing, practicing again and again.
by
Yeah.
talking to people who are 2 steps ahead of you, and learning
That's
what they
perfect.
have done to get there.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
that's
Hey, coaches and want to be coaches, I have a great announcement for you. If you want to start your coaching business or want to level up your coaching business, we are thrilled to announce our formula for building a coaching business through the power of podcasting. It is not just an online course, it's a community of coaches where we meet every week and grow together to build your coaching business along with your podcast. So, click the link to attend my webinar, Podcast Made Easy for Coaches, and jump into the Clarity 10x community. Now, enjoy the episode on Let's Talk Clarity. Here, let me touch that point also, because since we are interacting from last 5 years, and you are always available, and you're always in the networking, and you're always connected.
mhm.
So how you learn those skills, networking? And because from last 5 years, whenever I contacted you, you're always available, and in the TEDx also, you're always available everywhere, and
Mhm.
you're always connected to people.
Hmm.
So how this skill has come, networking?
Networking, I would say, I I've always enjoyed. being around with people. But when I started doing business, it really gave me the ecosystem to interact with so many different people. And business doesn't, like, when you start a startup or do anything, it just doesn't happen, or you're sitting in a room and you get some idea. It's always when you interact with people, you figure out, what are the problems they are going through, or what is something new they are using. So I think I was always a people's person, but yes, on the aspect of interacting with the world, it also gives you many perspectives that really helps you grow in your life personally and professionally. So, as you said, if you can afford to have that exposure, I would say to every young person, just go around the world, go around different cities. You will learn so many different perspectives. You will learn about so many different problems. You will learn how to solve them instead of just being in that one box. So, yes, having that exposure really helped me understand that it's all about people. It's all
People.
about, you, me, everybody here. It's
Okay.
not about my idea, my thing. No. Yeah,
It's
it's all about knowing
connect,
people. Yeah.
knowing people, connections, solving problems about
Solving problems,
yeah.
getting perspectives.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, like, I learned so much from you in those last 5 years. I've been observing your journey. It's been very inspirational. And now, next day, if somebody comes to me and says, I want to do this, I know I have a friend, I can reach out to. So,
Yeah, that's amazing. And this networking thing means even this podcast, I'm reaching to you and not many people. Yesterday, I recorded with Just. So this networking thing always come in handy, and it takes you to a long way because we are connected. So let's take this journey forward and understand that yeah, you are a serial entrepreneur, and we always in podcast also we are always smiling, we are always happy, but there must be low points for an entrepreneur, or maybe in a on a very weekly daily basis. So how you handle those low points in entrepreneurship?
I think it really helps, since this is not my first startup.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, my journey from my first startup to Butternut AI and how I have grown or evolved during that process. So when you start something, the things are going to be so difficult at every point, because in a job you are doing one thing and you just need to be perfect there. But when you start a startup or a business, you need to take care of taxes, employees, hiring, revenue, P&L sheet, everything. So, and many things will go wrong. तो आपको लगता है कुछ गलत जाता है and you are like, oh, this is the end of the world.
Okay.
अब तो ये कंपनी बंद ही हो जाएगी, like. So every day, you kind of, you're like, but then as you grow, you just learn these are just problems that you need to solve.
Solve.
So you don't need to take them to your heart. Think of as problems जिसका solution आपने find करना है.
Find करना है.
So even today, if I'll connect with my team, there will be 10 different things that are on fire. But now I don't get that anxiety. I don't worry. I just think of it as problems I need to solve. So I think that perspective, that understanding.
Initially.
Oh my God, I used to have a lot of anxiety, and sometimes, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to figure out? But as you mentioned, as you grow, you just learn that having people around who are having that ecosystem around really helps. Because if
Okay.
you're in a problem, you can always reach out to somebody who can help, or you can figure out. So having, first of all, that faith and having that ecosystem really helps you put those fires down.
Wow. So it is if I summarize this, it has to be that it is the way is through it only. Means
Yes.
you cannot just stand outside and let it solve and then go in. No, no, you have to
No.
go through it. The anxiety or the pressure, the stress will come, and then you have to go through it, and then you have to overcome them.
You have to accept it.
Accept.
No business is built, with somebody with his or her eyes closed. Everybody has taken the pain. To be successful, you have to, yes, definitely be smart, but the pain comes with it. Even the most popular, I would say, or the most crucial CEO of this time, the CEO of NVIDIA, the founder of NVIDIA,
Yes,
Jensen,
yes, yes.
he says it is a brutal journey.
Brute.
Go for it only if you're ready for it. And I think having that passion to build something really helps. Because if you're just doing for maybe money, you will run away. If you are doing something with passion, you will stick to it.
Yes.
And everything compounds. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, the hurdles will be there, and if the passion is there, then only you will able to overcome. Yes.
Yes. So my mantra, which I say is, move. Even if you move 0.1% every day, you are still compounding it.
Compounding.
So just don't sit, move. Yeah, some days are going to be very fast, some days are going to be very slow, but accept it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Pritika, we have discussed about failures, we have discussed about the stress, anxiety. Let's come back to very important point of entrepreneurship, mentors.
Hmm.
So, how mentors have shaped you, and who are your mentors, and means how to choose mentors, and means what is the role of mentor for an entrepreneur?
I think role of mentors now, since I'm building in AI, I'm living in San Francisco, and the choice or the decision to live in San Francisco is to always, to be surrounded by like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
So mentors, I would say, are really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you should be taking their advice, but also listening to your heart. Because you might know if you're solving certain problem, you might know certain things that
Mm-hmm.
they might not be very optimist about. So you really need to learn to have different perspectives. So I would say mentors are important
Yeah.
in life
Yeah.
because they can really show you the way.
Mm.
People who are 2 or maybe 10 steps ahead, they
Mm.
have already taken the trouble that you are taking right now. So they can
Yes.
point you in the right direction. And when you are asking me about who are my mentors, I would say, first of all, Paul Graham I see as, my silent mentor because his essays really inspired me
Okay.
into entrepreneurship or how to build a business. So he would be my number one mentor.
Okay.
And secondly, I would say anybody and everybody
Okay.
around me,
Oh.
yes, is kind of they're teaching me something every day. Even in SF, where I mentioned innovation in AI is taking at such a fast pace, so I get to learn everything, a lot of different things from different people. So I think everybody is my mentor in
Wow.
that way.
Wow. That
Yeah.
was very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so let's take this journey forward and understand that if one new graduate, he or she just passed out, and he or she is having a one brilliant idea, and what will be the next step to start
Mm-hmm.
it as an business, or how to jump into the entrepreneurship?
Got it. So it depends on the kind of business you are looking to build. There are businesses which are bootstrap. That means, you're putting some of your own money and
Hmm.
then growing it. The second is you are also taking venture capital, that you
Okay.
are, getting investments from outside. So if you're going for a bootstrap business, I would say have some savings and you grow your idea, and you grow it and
Pilot.
yes, pilot it and try to make it profitable as soon as possible.
Okay.
The other is the venture based business. In that you give a stake of your business
Hmm.
for the capital, which really helps because you can move faster. So if you want to go that way, I would say, if you have an idea in mind, apply for incubators or accelerators.
Okay.
There are many accelerators across the world.
Yeah.
You
Even
can.
in college and everywhere, they
Yes,
are.
even when you are in your college, like there is Thiel Fellowship.
Yeah.
They offer some capital if you drop out of college to work on your idea.
Yeah.
Then there
Oyo.
is Oyo.
Yeah.
Oyo came out of Thiel Fellowship. Then
Yeah.
there's Y Combinator. There is Techstars. There's 500 startups. There are many, many. You can just search for them. So that really will give you the ecosystem. So I think that is the first thing that you should be doing.
Hmm.
And secondly, start building something. Having an idea is good, but if you don't have anything to show,
Sure. Okay.
exactly,
Okay.
there's no point. So start building something. Find your co-founder who can be a good match, and start building something and
Hmm.
start talking to users. So yeah.
And here, let me ask you, why co-founder, and why it is important?
Why? Because, okay, as you mentioned, I would say yes, it is not impossible to build a company solo,
Hmm.
but it really helps to have a good co-founder on board. Because
Super.
as you mentioned, entrepreneurship comes with a lot of lows
Hmm.
and a few highs. So you always have somebody to pick you up. Some days you pick the other person picks you up, and then you get perspectives. So when you are two people, it's like, yeah, we are going to win the world.
Yes.
You
Yes.
really
One
you
plus one
balance each
is,
other.
yeah,
1 plus 1 is 11.
11. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
So yes, and it really helps to have a good co-founder. You just not have a co-founder just for the sake of having a co-founder, but you might have a friend who has complementary skills and you have worked together. So that could be, or you have a brother or somebody else. So yes, having the right co-founder is important.
Important, yeah, yeah. And you just mentioned about Y Combinator and lot many venture capitalists, incubators. So, how was your experience with Y Combinator and what, how you got in there?
Uh-huh. So how we got in was the standard process of applying.
Very lengthy procedure.
Very lengthy procedure, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes, filling the application, getting to the interview, and everything. When it comes to my experience, I would say it really shaped me as an entrepreneur because it taught me two things. First is the sense of urgency.
Sense of urgency. Okay.
Yes, it should not be like, oh, I'll do it. You cannot procrastinate when you're building things. You really need to have a sense of urgency to do it now, to do it this month. What you can do in 1 year, can you do it in like 1 month? That sense of urgency. The second is importance of deadlines.
Okay.
Yeah, because without deadlines, we can do something in 1 day that we might be just putting down for 1 year. We all know that. It's all the tricks we play with our mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think
Our
those.
mind do everything to not do it.
Exactly. All excuses, all laziness, everything. But these two things, when they are in place, you really produce good things. And you can fail faster, you can learn faster, and you can come up with something that is important and useful.
Wow, that was very powerful, and to get in Y Combinator and learning these things. And you mentioned about failures. You are very fascinated about failures, and your TED talk is also talk about
5 things to not fail.
five. So how you tackle the failures and how your mechanism to get out of those?
So I heard this one amazing interview of Amitabh Bachchan,
Okay,
where he
yeah.
mentioned this. His father told him that अगर मन का हुआ तो अच्छा, अगर मन का नहीं हुआ तो और भी अच्छा, क्योंकि there is something bigger waiting for you. So I think I also, that optimism that I said every entrepreneur must have, because you are facing rejection every day from different angles, this or that. So having that optimism that things are working for you, things are working in your favor, even though you cannot see it right away, but later you will see that effect. So I think just having that belief really helps me get out of failures. And as I mentioned, I've been in this journey for quite a few years. I've learned this is a part of process. You will not succeed without failing. Nobody becomes a success overnight. Every overnight success takes a few months or years. So you just accept it.
Wow, wow, this is powerful. That failures are part of the process and very important and integral part of the process. You
Exactly.
cannot go without it. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, who is that one person who always just got success in life? Nobody.
So Pritika, that was amazing. We have discussed everything, and so we are at the end of our podcast, and I'll ask you my last two questions. And the first question will be that what will be your, means you are having close to 10 years of career experience. You did a job also. You did shifting of job, and then entrepreneurship, and then TEDx, and then global shaper, world economic, everything, two startups, very big startups. So how is your top three learnings of the whole career of 8 9 years?
My top three learnings. First of all, is definitely being action oriented.
Action oriented.
I
Wow.
mean, to anybody who wants to start anything, any career or anything, I would say be action oriented. Like, you know about this Happy Toy community. I was thinking of it as more of a business. So this is a community for pet parents, but it was originally, okay, can I build some business out there? I started executing it and I realized this is not the line of business I would like to go in,
Okay.
but this community is required. So let's do that, just to help people around. So I failed and I learned fast. So by doing action.
Action.
Yeah. So action is very important. Then secondly, optimism is very important.
Yeah.
And just believe in yourself. Believe that you are meant to do good things, great things, and you can figure it out. Having that big world can tell you, no, this is impossible. But if you know it is possible internally, you can make things happen for yourself. And third would be just to be surrounded by amazing people. That really pushes you up. Because if your peers are aiming for perfection, or if they are aiming for something big, you are, that will rub onto you.
Rubber.
You will definitely be like, oh, I need to do something. I also need to, pursue this. And yes, if you're surrounded by amazing people, they will help you. They will push you up. So these are the three things which I kind
Wow,
of,
wow, super
yeah,
powerful. Yeah, action, optimism, and the community or people around you.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You are the average of the five people.
Five people you surround yourself with, very important.
Yeah, that's great, and it's nice talking to you, Pritika. And this is my last question. And sitting here in Mohali in a co-working space, it's like a miracle for me. It's 5 years back. I have never thought of that. I'll be having podcast. I'll be talking, and I'll be completing 90 plus episodes. It's all miracle for me. Traveling from Delhi to Mohali and then recording podcasts, and you're also coming from US, and it just happened to be here. So it is all miracle for me, and I have never thought of. So it is my miracle do happen moment. So my next question is about your future. So what is your miracle do happen moment that can happen in your future in next 1 2 years? MDH moment.
MDH. Okay, that's nice. Okay, my miracle to happen is, as I mentioned, with Butternut AI, it went viral. A lot of people are using it. I
More
want
than 2 lakh subscribers.
300,000
300,000.
users.
Okay.
Yes. So, um, what I want to see is, as I mentioned, that we want to automate the software building industry where people will be able to build complex apps or web apps using Butternut AI. So I want to see how we can evolve it in such a way that how Shopify revolutionized the e-commerce space. How can we revolutionize the software building space where each business owner, they can have control of their destiny via their online presence using these web apps. So yes, and how can we integrate AI in making it a very powerful platform. So that's my MDH moment. And one thing I like to add here, you said you never thought of it, but I would like to correct you. You always thought of it.
Thought of it.
Because I remember having these conversations with you a couple of years ago where you were thinking about things.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think when you took that action of leaving your very amazing job and going here full time, I think that really made things happen for you. But yeah, you kind of knew in your heart that you
Yes.
wanted to do this. So it's not like you never knew it.
That's amazing. And so Pritika, thank you for coming for the show. And it's always amazing to talk to you and feel your every time energy and the vibrancy. So let me ask you one last question.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go
So
for
from
it.
where this energy is coming?
I think when I'm surrounded by amazing people, this energy just shows up. I'm not an extrovert person, to be honest. I
Okay.
am more of an ambivert.
Okay.
It really depends on the company of people. Like, being with around you or Mudit sir, I've always enjoyed our conversations.
Yeah.
So it has always been, it's always the people around me that brings this energy up. So that's why I say surround yourself. Yeah, the kind of optimism you, your team, everybody has, I think it's amazing. That's
Wow.
bringing this energy out.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
for
coming
having
on.
me.